Good afternoon, I'm Ed Pozuoli, CEO of Tripp Scott, and joining us today is Representative Frank White, who's a candidate on the Republican side for Attorney General. Representative, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
So you talk a little bit about why you're running for Attorney General now in Florida.
Yeah, I'm running for Attorney General to make a difference and to really make a difference for the next generation. Florida has been a fantastic place to start a business, to move to and retire to raise a family. It hadn't been perfect, but it's been really good, and I want to keep it that way and make it better. So for me, it's public service it's a public trust, it's a calling, and the ability as Attorney General you can do so much good, or if it's the wrong person, can do a lot of harm. And so that's the passion to do it. As an attorney, I mean that's defending the Constitution, standing up for the rule of law. That's my passion. That's what I want to do.
So talk to me a little bit about the Attorney General's role in holding government accountable. That seems to be one of your themes. Describe what you mean by holding government accountable.
Great question. Yeah, government. I think there is a tremendous lack of accountability in government. I mean, terrible things happen, mistakes are made, and no one's ever held accountable. And I'm in the private sector, people are held accountable, and that's what makes the trains run on time. That's what that makes us all better. That doesn't happen in government, but it can. And it can. The Attorney General has an ability to do it. The AG it's really the kind of the guardian of the Constitution, the constitutional structure, and so making sure that different parts of government, whether it's at the local level, at the federal level, or at the state level, state agencies, that different parts of government stay within their lanes. And for me as Attorney General, I'm going to find every lever I can to make sure that politicians are held accountable.
So talk to me a little bit about agencies in Tallahassee. There's a multitude of them, but when you say stay in their lanes, describe what you mean by that.
Yes. So we take it back to elementary school or middle school, sort of executive branch, judicial branch, and then the legislative branch, right? So the legislative branch writes the laws. The executive branch is charged with implementing those laws. Well, a lot of times the legislative branch will write a law that gives too much discretion, a lot of power and discretion to a state agency, or the legislature will write a law that doesn't give much discretion, but that state agency, when they implement it, they actually do exercise more discretion than they were intended to be given by the legislators. So that's what I would call kind of keeping government within its lane. That's one area, and then another is just it's just bad decisions made in government, and using if there's a way to do it, using the power of the AG office to try to hold the politicians accountable. And
this goes back to something you also have a theme about financial responsibility.
Right, absolutely. So fiscal accountability, fiscal responsibility is something that unfortunately you got to force it on government. I started as a lawyer in private practice. My last 8 years I've been general counsel for a group of private businesses, and part of that executive team managing the businesses. We've got 600 employees. We're in 3 states. Ed, we'd love to have 700. Right? I mean, we'd love to have more, but we can't because we hold ourselves to a budget. And
You mean you can't go to the taxpayers and ask for more money?
Right? No. I mean, we start at zero-based budgeting. You start fresh every year, and government needs to be that way too. And so, as Attorney General, that's absolutely something that it's going to be a priority of mine. And as an example of how I'm running my own campaign, we have a program that gives taxpayer dollars, hundreds of thousands, in some cases millions of dollars, to candidates to run their campaigns at the statewide level. I'm not taking it. I mean, just because that's to me it's a welfare for politicians program, and I don't want to.
So no public funding.
No public funding for my campaign at all.
Wow. Okay. And so since we're talking about the campaign, how's it going? How is your trekking around the state? It's a pretty big state.
It is a massive state, but man, it is a just amazingly diverse and interesting state. The experience has been fantastic, and getting a lot of support and reception from all parts of the state.
And so, talk to us. Make sure we know, when is the primary?
Primary is August 28th. It's vote by mail. That's an easy way. Vote early. That's even easier.
So everybody who has everybody who's gotten a ballot from their supervisor of elections can vote now.
Yes, you can vote now.
And early voting is also in place, and obviously you can always vote on election day. So, but it's August 28th.
August 28th, Tuesday, August 28th, Election Day. It's important. It matters, especially in a race like mine, the Attorney General race. You know how important this role is.
It is.
It doesn't get that much attention though. So it's one where look at the candidates, look. There's a lot of stuff on the ballot now and again in November. So
how do you get or bring attention to this race and the importance of the Attorney General on the state level when you have, say, a high-profile U.S. Senate race that's going to happen? Obviously, we were going to elect a governor as well again, and a lot of that, the political news and the political effort's going to be put there. How do you break out of the pack and get people to pay attention?
Yeah, so really, number one, you hustle. So you work really, really hard and get every chance you can to get in front of groups. You go make the case, and it begins with education. I think a lot of people don't understand what attorneys do, much less the Attorney General. So you have to start with that PR campaign of explaining what it does.
And of course, in Florida, you're a member of the cabinet, which really makes and runs state government.
Absolutely, yes.
As Attorney General.
That's it. Yeah. So it's a policy-making role too, where you are, you oversee in a way what a lot of state agencies, the decisions they make, and serve in a kind of quasi-appellate capacity there.
So as a Republican and with the primary on August 28th, is there something you want to say to Republican voters for purposes of the primary?
Absolutely. So, I am a conservative Republican. I've been a principled, consistent conservative my entire life, constitutional conservative, and I have business experience. So I've been a part of running a large operation, and the Attorney General office absolutely is a large operation. 1,400 employees, 300 lawyers, and I'm ready day one to lead.
Well, I appreciate your service, and Representative, thank you for your time.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.